Hi everyone, welcome to Jamaica Magazine. Thank you for joining us for another informative half-hour journey. Coming up, important health choices and investments in this critical area of public service. Plus, a look at the future of work in the fourth industrial revolution. Stay with us.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. How to wash your hands. Firstly, wet your hands. Then apply some soap. Rub your hands palm to palm. Lather the backs of your hands. Scrub between your fingers. Rub the backs of fingers on the opposing palms. Then clean your thumbs. Make sure to wash your fingernails and fingertips. Rinse your hands. Then dry with a single-use towel. Use this towel to turn off the faucet. And now your hands are clean. When to wash your hands? After coughing or sneezing, after taking public transportation, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare and eat food, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, after handling animals or animal waste. An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
By order, under the Disaster Risk Management Act, you must wear a mask in all public access places and in public transportation. If you wear a mask and I wear a mask, we are all safer.
Government has been making the necessary investments to secure the health and well-being of the population. The Minister of Health and Wellness now outlines the development plans for the 2020-2021 financial year. Take a look.
Without the protection of the good health of our people, there can be no real or sustainable development.
On this principle, the ministry with oversight is focusing attention this fiscal year on building out the health infrastructure and promoting the behavioral practices that support good health. A driving concern for the Health and Wellness Ministry in fiscal year 2020-2021 is getting everyone to adapt to the new reality of COVID-19.
The island has now moved from trying to keep COVID out to life or living with COVID. The good news is that we have a plan for this, Mr. Speaker, and that is termed the COVID Recovery Plan.
The COVID Recovery Plan has specific actions, many of which involve multi-sectoral and multidisciplinary partnerships which allow for efficient alert and response systems. As part of this plan, the ministry will review existing legislation to align with international health regulations and draft policies that support infection prevention and control measures in the home, community, and workplace.
Every workplace, Mr. Speaker, counts in ensuring the implementation of health protocols to include appropriate infection prevention and control measures. Every religious organization counts to enable and empower their congregations to increase health-seeking behaviors and to embrace prevention as a way of life. And every community, Mr. Speaker, counts through a demonstration of responsibility for each of its members, enabling the preservation of each family within the community.
Also, a strategic and human resource review of the Health Emergency Operations Center EOC will be done. This should increase the state's capacity to respond to multiple and varied disasters and allow for the documentation of EOC procedures. The strategy includes the creation of approximately 2,208 posts for community health aides and 500 posts for public health inspectors. The organizational structure for medical officers of health in each parish will be reviewed to better respond to emergencies.
The development of a national lab policy, including a system of licensing of laboratories and requirements for conformity to a national quality standard, is also to be done.
Other aspects of the plan include an accelerated program for contact tracing and management of health risks at the airports and seaports.
There's also a clear need for ongoing targeted behavioral change interventions that breathe life into the old adage, prevention is better than cure, Mr. Speaker. A critical and first step in this effort is the strict adherence to infection prevention and control measures, including the frequent washing of hands, the wearing of masks while in crowded situations, maintaining a 6 feet physical distance from others. We also need our people to abide by the quarantine restrictions, Mr. Speaker.
The Jamaica Moves program is now in 200 schools, reaching at least 72,000 students. It is to become a prime platform for promoting individual responsibility for health. This is especially in regards to infection prevention and control, as well as reducing the burden of NCDs through proper diet and exercise and knowing our health status.
The Jamaica Moves concept, which is now focused on everyone counting. Everyone counts. Individual responsibility to be your own hero in protecting yourself is in keeping with the behavioral change that we must push in our society.
The ministry has been budgeted $6 billion for COVID-19 containment efforts. This will support expenditures for the health authorities, the acquisition of test kits and prescription drugs, upgrade of hospital infrastructure, and retrofitting of quarantine and isolation facilities.
I am comfortable that we have been getting value for money, as evidenced by the slowing of the disease, which has resulted in a less than expected number of cases and hospitalizations here on the island. In fact, Mr. Speaker, Jamaica has so far kept the number of cases below the health system capacity to respond, Mr. Speaker.
Outside of COVID-19, thousands of Jamaicans will continue to benefit from improved access to critical diagnostic services. The Enhancing Healthcare Delivery Service project will help to reduce waiting time and improve patient care.
In the coming months, a midterm evaluation, Mr. Speaker, will be done to clearly establish the links between these new initiatives, the outsourcing of diagnostic services, the removal of social cases, and the reduced wait. And in the coming months, Mr. Speaker, we intend to work to introduce the surgical component of this agreement. Again, COVID has delayed or distracted or redirect resources from us focusing on this. I'm proud, Mr. Speaker, to report that the ministry has now completed the construction of 4 high-dependency units under the Program for the Reduction of Maternal and Child Mortality, PROMAC, at a cost of some $1.5 billion, Mr. Speaker.
This and other achievements under PROMAC are part of a broad-ranging improvement of public health infrastructure. Human resources also being enhanced as more than 230 doctors and nurses have been trained in specialized programs. Cornwall Regional Hospital continues to undergo major rehabilitation and construction works, and the Western Child and Adolescent Hospital is coming to St. James.
To date, the government has spent more than $3.5 billion in the rehabilitation of the facility and the creation of new infrastructure to support service provision to the citizens in that part of the island.
During the course of this fiscal year, the implementation of health information systems will be advanced to further improve the patient care system that will create efficient information exchange between healthcare providers and those they serve. 110 health facilities will be retrofitted with technology to provide high-speed internet capacity and a modern ICT infrastructure that includes laptops and tablets. There will also be widespread use of the WHO's Go Data platform for the collection and analysis of surveillance data for the detection and management of diseases.
The ministry will be launching a tender for an electronic health record system at a cost of more than $800 million that will manage patient information, further improving the management of patient records and treatment, such as telemedicine. Gone will be the days when you go to the health center and have to send for your docket in a dust-infested room.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is filling the prescription that will protect the good health of Jamaicans.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19. Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport, and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
It is important for our youth to adopt healthy habits and exercise, while at the same time avoiding unhealthy habits such as smoking. If you're struggling or don't know what to do, this next feature will help you make the healthy choice.
Move it, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Just like how you want to invest, right? In the future, you save your money because you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, whatever it is that you want to do, you invest your money. That's the same way you have to invest in your health now, so that later on, you'll be able to see the rewards.
So, what makes up an investment in a healthy future? A balanced diet, regular exercise, and staying away from harmful drugs are some elements. A balanced diet helps prevent conditions such as obesity and reduces the risk of heart disease and other illnesses.
A lot of emphasis on fruits and veggies. You guys know your fresh fruits, your apples, oranges, bananas, your vegetables, string beans, carrots, callaloo. You want to have a variety. I always think of colors. Colors are a good guide if you know nothing about nutrition. Whole grain and high fiber. The whole wheat bread is good, your whole wheat pasta, but I really want us to make our diet predominantly our ground food, breadfruit, yams, sweet potato, green banana, plantain. Also our oily fish such as sardines or salmon or tuna or mackerel. Those are fantastic for our omega-3. Lean meats, that's our chicken, fish, pork. Our dairy, soy milk, regular cow's milk, either which one you want to get your calcium, especially for the growing bones. Also, we want to reduce our sugars, that's mostly seen in our fruit juices or sodas.
Once you've established what a balanced diet looks like, it's important to use the right portions.
Half your bowl of vegetables. Look at the callaloo there, and a quarter of your protein, that's your 2 eggs, and another quarter of your starch, that's your green banana. Or you can go down the bottom, and nothing is wrong with having a little bit of healthy fat. Healthy fat is your avocado pear. Very, very, very good for you. Will help clear your arteries.
You should be exercising 3 to 4 times per week just to maintain. If you want to improve your fitness level, you want to be an athlete, you need to be exercising at least 4 to 5 times per week consistently. All right, in order to maintain your health.
A regular 30-minute exercise regime does not necessarily mean going to the gym. With just a chair, you can do a lot. Warm-up exercises, upper and lower body strengthening, abdominals.
Imagine you're hearing the words of why you're workless, you're a fool, you come like you're workless, pooper, all of these different things. How you gonna feel about yourself? You're gonna feel bad. So most person to know is use drugs to feel better about themselves. But the sad truth about this is that the drug don't solve the problem.
Smoking of cigarettes, one commonly used drug, is a contributor to several disorders and cancers.
92% of all oral cancer is caused from smoking tobacco. 82% of all lung cancer is caused from smoking tobacco. Yes, 80 plus chemicals inside of it contribute to gum disease. That's why the teeth change color or they drop out.
Hookah, also known as water pipe tobacco, is no less dangerous. An hour-long smoking session is equal to inhaling smoke from 100 to 200 cigarettes. When it comes to smoking marijuana or ganja, its effect on a teenager is different from an adult smoker. In addition to smoke causing damage to the lungs, it impacts the brain.
Your brain is not yet fully developed. Where the box is, that part of the brain controls the executive function of the body. Weighing risk, consequent, thinking, all of this. How much you know have a friend right now and they must smoke weed? And like they can't reason properly. It's like your friend a change. How much person knows somebody know while smoke weed and it's like they get ignorant easy.
Research shows that frequent smoking of ganja from the teenage years into adulthood leads to a significant decline in IQ levels. The dangers of smoking ganja are heightened when unknowingly combined with other ingredients.
Most you get your weed from your friend them, right? You don't know where your friend them or the shop or anybody or the dealer give you. Because if somebody want to mash up your life, all them have to do is put a lizard tail in it and it done. Or they mix it with cocaine and it done. So you don't know where you are smoke. So that's why I said every time you smoke, it's like a gamble or a risk.
Then there is grabba, a deadly mix of ganja with tobacco and sometimes with other ingredients.
When it comes to the red herring grabber and the red rose, that's what they call a hot grabber because those are the one with chemicals. How they make the red herring grabber is simple this way. Grabber is tobacco leaf. So what they do is mix the tobacco leaf with the red herring fish. They wrap it up or they dip the tobacco in the water and let it dry. So when you're smoking that now, you're smoking chemicals from fish, tobacco and ganja.
So, maintain a healthy diet, exercise regularly, and stay away from drugs. These should help you reap healthy rewards later in life. If you need help in maintaining a healthy lifestyle, contact the National Council on Drug Abuse at 926-9002-4 or the Jamaica Cancer Society at 927-4265.
Move it, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, celebrating over 20 years of investment in community development. JSIF has forged relationships with international funding partners as well as private and public sector entities. Let us continue to invest to reduce vulnerabilities. Let us build our social capital and resilient infrastructures to ensure full participation in Vision 2030. JSIF, investing for community development.
The world in which we live is becoming more digital. You see it in the way we socialize, learn, and even do business. With this comes both opportunities and challenges. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security hosted a youth forum pre-COVID-19 to examine these challenges and opportunities. Watch.
It's good to be here today to welcome and to join with the youth, all of you, everyone here today at this Youth and National Forum to discuss and share ideas under the theme Future of Work, Realizing Productivity Growth. Today's forum is very timely as many of our youths are making preparation to transition into the changing world of work. I believe that a forum like this affords us the opportunity of identifying the challenges that are expected to arise from this new wave of technological advancement known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution. But there are also opportunities as well.
I wish to implore on you as youths that you have a significant role to play in our drive to enhance productivity. We appreciate that the talent of the future lies in you. As a government, it is our responsibility to lay the foundation which will enable you not only to achieve your goals, but also to prepare you in taking your rightful place within society. Our young people remain on the cutting edge of technology, and it is prime time to maximize and monetize these opportunities.
Welcome to the fourth industrial revolution. Right now, if you go into courts, you can buy a smart fridge. Why do you need to connect your fridge to your mobile device? What is it that you need to tell your fridge to do? Lower the temperature, thaw your chicken. There are so many things that are awaiting us in this fourth industrial revolution. When you think about 3D printing, right now sneakers are being printed, mass production, because nobody needs to assemble these materials. Click of a button, it's done. When you think about big data analytics, we're all connected. Right now, there are companies here in Jamaica that knows exactly where we are, what we're doing, and what our demographic is. I kid you not, I work with them. A lot of the times we are connected online, but we're just consuming. The only way to earn is to create. What will you learn to create? You can do work for individuals in Europe, in America, just by sitting at home around your computer, utilizing your skill set. And with that, I'll just leave you with a few pointers. Right now, it's less brawn, it's more brains. Always observe the patterns. That's how you'll be able to position yourself at the forefront of the industry. The industry, we're still in the early stages. It's going to get a lot more aggressive because remember the pattern, 100 years. And change is constant.
It's very important that when we're thinking about how we position ourselves in this new world, that we're helping to solve industrial problems, that we're not necessarily just going with the trends, but we're also helping to solve real problems that people are having on the ground.
In Jamaica, we noticed that artificial intelligence is in existence, it's taking over, it's in the banking system, manufacturing, tourism, and so forth, right? We notice that through the increased use of technology, it is creating a number of job opportunities in a number of sectors, namely BPO sector, animation, and cybersecurity systems. Some of the occupations that are in demand are coming on stream. Data scientists, automobile engineers, project officers, robotics automation developers, and to the right you have some of the skills that are needed: robot programming, factory automation, electronics, graphic designing. In terms of animation, Jamaica is gaining a lot of traction within the animation industry because of our increased use of technology, because of our creative skills that exist here in Jamaica, right? So what is happening is that a lot of films are being sent to Jamaica to be further developed and sent back to the US. And as a result, it is creating a number of job opportunities in several areas. For example, animators, graphic and web designers. So these are good areas for persons to get into.
85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 don't exist as yet. AI is what is changing this workforce. AI is many things. AI, even robotics falls under AI. There is some, a word like machine learning that you may have learnt about. There is problem solving, which AI focuses on. Like if you're trying to go from here to Hong Kong, do you want a route? Do you want the cheapest route in terms of dollar? Do you want a airline route in terms of minimum number of stops? Or do you want a route which takes you in the shortest amount of time? So which one do you want? And how does it find you the best solution? All these are some of typical AI problems until it has been consumed by the world of data. And with this data, what has happened is that we now have machine learning coming into play. Even machine learning has existed in computer science for a long time. But what has happened is, and the tech companies are also at fault, they tend to use AI and machine learning interchangeably. So what is AI? AI is a program that can sense, reason, act, and adapt. So it is doing showing some kind of intelligence by acting and adapting in the environment that it exists. Then we have machine learning, which is doing similar things, but when it's making actions and when it's doing some kind of behavior, it is based on data. We have all this data. Without analytics, this big data that we are looking at is just nothing but a heap of garbage. We need to really make sense of that data. How do we make sense of that data? We make sense of that data with the machine learning algorithms, and many people call it analytics. You're doing something with the data. So we have to be mindful, as the data is increasing, the information can decrease if we don't do something with this data.
Mosquitoes will breed in containers that hold water. Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, buckets and tanks, or cover the water surface with cooking oil. Punch holes in all tins, plastic containers and boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover old tires or fill with dirt. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs and dispose of garbage by placing in plastic bags. Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. A message from the Ministry of Health.
There's a lot more to Jamaica than just what meets the eye. I'd always loved art. It was my first love. It set me free. I did some artwork for the Half Moon Hotel. And shortly after, 14 guests showed up at my gate thinking I had a gallery up here. And that gave me the idea that I need to have a gallery. And so the guests would come up, they see the garden, ask if they could go for a walk, but everybody came back saying we should make something of it. It was inspiring, they described it in many ways.
When they come here, we give each guest a welcome and a little history about the place before they take the tour. There's one word that they repeat over and over again. Love. They feel love in this place.
One guest we had in the early years was from Germany. And he said, I spent 5 days on the beach looking up in these hills and just wondered what was life like up there. And he found us. People who travel want to experience. And this is what we try to offer, an experience.
Every guest that leaves this place said, I came here as a guest and I felt like family.
Yeah.
Come to Jamaica and be your family.
We all have a story to tell. Mine is just one of millions that are out there. And they're all good.
We've come to the close of another interesting edition of Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for another show. But until then, you can continue to watch this and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, urging you to stay COVID-19 free.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.